Well, can I have a motion to call the meeting to order?
I'll make a motion.
Well, welcome, everybody.
Anna Rowley.
Welcome. Rita Hare and Jean Dwinell are excused absences today. And if you could take a look at the minutes from our last meeting. If there's anything anyone would like to add, and any errors, omissions, or whatever, please look it over. If not, can I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was July 13th?
So moved.
Wonderful.
Second?
Second, anybody?
I'll second.
See, I can.
All right, well, so let's talk about the topic that we just want to go away. Masked and socially distanced programming.
So we had a good run for the few weeks that we were open without them.
Yeah.
One of the cases started ticking up around Massachusetts. Of course, we meet with the OC, and it was thought that masks in the senior center, because all the other senior centers were also doing it, and the CDC recommends if you're going to be indoors, even if you're vaccinated, you should have a mask on. So we went back to masks, and we didn't have any programs like the first week except for our regular exercise classes. So what we've done is the chief came down and we had marked out with social distancing for the exercise programs, because you can't do Zumba, and you can't do osteo, and you can't do yoga in a mask. It's too much. So we have everybody socially distanced in the big main room. I bought 3 more HEPA filtration system air purifiers that are in the main room. We keep the fans off, but we keep the air conditioner on because it doesn't blow, it just cools. So that's worked out pretty well. The only group that was really disrupted was the osteo group, because they meet at like 9:30 in the morning, but Pam has her painting class on Mondays. So they come in now at 1 o'clock on Mondays in the afternoon, they exercise, so that they can be socially distanced, because the room they were exercising in is too small to be able to distance anybody in there. So that's all working out pretty well. We have had a couple of lunches. What we do is we put 2 people at each table. They wear masks until it's time to eat, and then if they're getting up from their space to go and get anything, they have to put their mask back on.
When you screen people when they come in, do you ask if they're vaccinated or not?
No. And I know that everybody that's our regulars is vaccinated, because we put most of them in for their vaccines, or they, told us they were vaccinated. So, but we're not allowed to ask.
You're not allowed to ask, or you're
Nope.
not allowed to ask for proof?
Not allowed either. Nope. So that's what we're doing. We were having the attorney come in tomorrow for lunch, so of course, some people have decided not to come to the senior center because they don't want to wear a mask. They don't want to sit during bingo with a mask on. They don't want to, sit during any of the movies or any of that stuff, and that's fine. We get it. I think we're probably going to be in masks until next spring, because the fall and the winter are going to be flu season and God only knows what else. So it is what it is. We're going to do our best to be able to continue doing some of the stuff. The attorney that was going to come in this week to do some elder law, she had traveled outside the state, so out of an abundance of caution, she didn't want to come to the center, masked or not. And I said that was fine. We only had, a half a dozen people signed up for it anyway. She's going to send me out some information. Anybody can call her if they have any questions. She will answer them for free. And we'll hope to book her in the spring. Smile Day, I'm not super worried about, because it's here in the gym, so we can definitely social distance there. If there was an uptick and we knew the weather was going to be really nice, I would think about an outside space for that, but we'll have to assess that as it gets closer. So it is what it is. I think most people are happy that we're open, and they don't care. They'll come in and socialize and wear their mask, because they have to wear a mask everywhere else they go.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
you're going to have some that are going to want to conform and others that aren't, and that's okay. We're happy to see anybody that comes in, and everybody's welcome. Yep. So,
All right, I guess our next topic is reorganizing the board.
I'll make a motion that Pat is chairman.
Anyone?
I'll second that.
Anything else? Next.
the secretary.
I'll make a motion that Jen is secretary.
I'll second it.
I'll make a motion that Chris stays our co-chair.
Payback.
I'll second that too.
Oh, that's a second and a third, there you go.
Can I take a fourth? What else? Any other things there on that? Are we good? Bills and vouchers?
So I we had some CARES Act money, and in order to use the CARES Act money, you send over what you want to use it for, and they're pretty strict about it, apparently. So I sent over an email to Jean, writing a compelling story that we needed, gloves, we needed more wipes, we needed Purell. They gave us from Grafton the ones they use in the ER. What are those called?
N95s?
No,
Oh,
that-
nitrile.
The wipes.
Wipes
Oh, the wipes, oh, God, those things
kill
will burn your fingers
They'll
off.
kill everything, but the thing is that I don't want anybody not realizing that you cannot touch those without gloves
Yeah,
on.
those
And we
are bad.
thought, you know what, I can taste alcohol and Lysol at the end of every single solitary day. So, and we use wipes to do everything. So we ordered more wipes, we ordered gloves, we ordered Microban, because we do spray the ramp, we spray every doorknob, we spray every light switch, everything is clean at the end of the day, or multiple times throughout the day, and the bathrooms. So I was able to get that, plus 4 more filtration systems, because we're in the basement, and all the filters to go with them, and that was under CARES Act. So we were accepted for that, so that was good, and some more Purell for the station, because as soon as you walk in, everybody's Purell, so we're going through that like it's water. And I have yoga and Zumba now happening, so that's being paid for under the grant. And we needed just a couple of supplies that is paid for under our regular budget, some paper towels and some paper and such. So, and the phone bill. That was it.
And then the ADA grant?
So, I'm going to try. We have to have they adopted, you're going to have to help me with this, they adopted having the commission at the town meeting for the ADA, for the handicap, okay?
Yep.
There has to be a board formed, right?
Correct.
Okay, and they have to have a meeting or two. So what's happening is, we've put in for the ADA grant 3 years in a row, and that was not accepted because we're scoring 1 point off, and that 1 point is because we do not have that ADA board in town that's making decisions on how to use the ADA grant funding. So I know that Matt is working on that, and they are trying to form some kind of a board. If it is formed and we do have the 2 meetings, then I will put in for the ADA grant. If not, it's not worth the work, because it's a tremendous amount of work. I wanted to put in the grant to make an outdoor pavilion. So it would have been really helpful to have that. If we could find a space for it, that would be between the senior center and somewhere in the downtown area. It would be nice for anybody to be able to use, not only just the seniors. So I will have no problem putting in for it, but I'm not going to do all the work if we're not going to get that scoring point. The library had put in for the ADA grant too, and they didn't get it because we don't have that one thing that everybody else has. So if you're Marlboro and you don't need another $500,000 truck, you're still getting one because Westboro got one last year, you know what I mean? So the wealthier towns are getting them, but they all have that board. So they are working on that, trying to do that. Matt was going to reach out maybe to the school and see if there was any parents of handicapped children that maybe wanted to join this board or whatever. So we just thought,
No, I would.
okay,
Certainly would be worthwhile.
yep. I will, I'll give him your info. So, because we are missing a lot of funding. And you can put in for these every year, and there's money. But a nice pavilion, they could use it at a farmer's market, the Boy Scouts could use it, the Girl Scouts could use it, or, the seniors could use it during the day for different things, and which would be super helpful even right now. We could have more things if we could, be outside,
Oh, sure.
but we don't have an outside space, so.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yep.
Get the board. State grants?
So the state grant in the annual report are done every year, usually about this time. Now we don't even have to send back whether we used all our funding or not. They're rolling it back in. So they let us roll our grant from last year. I did not. I started with a clean slate because it does get very confusing. And we used it on things that we needed. So that being said, we're supposed to be level funded. We won't have any information maybe until September, October. We don't have to write what we're going to use the grant for. I'm going to, for my own purposes, to submit a budget to Jean, but we don't have to. And like at the end of the year, if I had more money left in office supplies, I'd have to reallocate it over to an exercise program. Or if I had exercise money left because somebody, took 6 weeks off from one of the teachers, then I'd have to reallocate it over to another account. We don't have to do that anymore. It's just, that's your money across the board. You spend it on what you spend it on. You really just don't even have to singularly account for it. So they're doing that this year, I think probably because so many people have been scrambling the last 2 years of our budgets to try to figure out how to spend our grant when we weren't open. So, and you don't just want to, buy nothing or something that you don't really need. So they let us roll it, but I did not. So hopefully in the fall, we will have that money, which would be $12,972 because we're being level funded. But now that my exercise programs are back up and running, and I'll have no problem doing that, because all of our stuff is free. We had a senior that came in the other day, and she said, I can't believe all of your programs are free. I'm like, well, I write a grant. Even the bigger towns that get more money, they still charge for the exercise programs. You know, and you have to make that commitment in advance, so like if my mother wanted to do Zumba, she'd have to pay that $30 a month to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you allow walk-ins, which is wonderful. Yeah.
Yep, so
Great.
we try to do every single solitary thing the best we can for free, except for the occasional lunch, you know, that we'd have to have paid for.
All right, so tell us about all these upcoming programs, getting into the fall, which is always a fun time of year.
Yes, so Smile Day, for sure. We have Judge Reardon coming in. He is going to come in and talk about different things that have to do with elders. He had asked me to pick a topic, and I think probably when somebody is deemed incompetent mentally, or how that works, or what you have to get to before your kids can say, nope, they're, you know, that kind of stuff. So we figured that would be a good topic for seniors, because I'm kind of fascinated by that, too, because some people are probably not competent, but I want to kind of see how that works, even just for my outreach job. So we thought that would be good. And then any other questions anybody else has. We're having our flu clinic October 1st, and of course, our Smile Day is going to be on October 5th. I'm thinking for November and December, we're not going to do probably too much. We're just going to continue to watch. Probably won't do anything really in November. We're going to gauge where we're at and maybe think about doing a Thanksgiving meal again for the seniors, if that's something they feel like they'll need. I don't know how many seniors' families still aren't vaccinated, so it's just kind of one of those, you know, if they're not going to go to their family's house for Thanksgiving, we'd like to at least let them have a meal. So we're going to gauge that. And then in December, we'll just kind of see how we go through that, and maybe be able to do some kind of a holiday program. That would probably be more Sunshine Clubby kind of program, because they're going to do a little Halloween program that Pam will fill you in on. So I think we're just going to kind of keep just the programs we have, and we have quite a few going every day. You know, Cards is doing well, all the exercise programs are doing well, Pam's painting class, some weeks, other weeks, but it's the end of the summer, so people are away and such, so.
Are we doing anything for Oktoberfest?
That would be under the Sunshine Club, and that's going to be, you know, questionable. Like I said, we meet with the EOC every week.
Yeah.
The Sunshine Club was going to do something inside of the senior center. If that is the case, then we would have to probably say no public bathrooms, because that's a lot of the reason why people come in. You know, because we don't want that much turnover in our bathrooms.
Yeah.
And if they do have something inside, I've already spoken to Adam, our maintenance manager, and he will go down there with the sprayer and make sure the whole place is decontaminated before we go back in on Monday. But we're under a mask mandate in there, too, so people would have to come in with masks. But I think we'll just kind of see that as it gets closer and see what the numbers are in town.
Yep.
So, or even the surrounding towns, because a lot of people come from the other towns, too. So,
And then program stats?
like I said, everything's been pretty good. It was a little bit better in the first few weeks of opening, because we weren't under a mask mandate, but we're still doing, you know, pretty well with our numbers. Our new system counts everything, so it's fascinating. I think we've already had 900 since we opened through the doors. So that could be some repeat people, and it breaks it right down as to how many times Janet's been there, and
Time of day, everything.
yeah. So that's been really, really helpful. On another note, I'm just going to say we're going to close on Thursday this week, because the rain has been a big issue down at the senior center. Our maintenance manager did have a new sump pump put in, but the way the drainage comes down, it's a very small little drain, and when we get that tremendous amount of water, it goes down that ramp like a waterfall, and it just floods and floods. So every time it's rained, we closed early a couple weeks ago, we closed at 2 before the rain came. They put sandbags in front of the door to protect the senior center and the flooring. It has gotten wet, and once it does, we don't want it to smell musty in there.
No.
And that carpet on the ramp got saturated during one of the storms in July. So, that being said, you're walking down the ramp, and we don't want anybody having wet feet going onto the floor. It could be a slip hazard. So we're going to close on Thursday, and just, we'll work from home, and the seniors don't come out when it's pouring anyway.
No.
No, so we will let everybody know that, so I just wanted to let you know.
Great. So how's the Sunshine Club doing?
Well, we've only gathered again since August 3rd, for the first time since COVID closed downs. And we had a good turnout. We have some new people coming in, new faces contributing, which is nice, new ideas, new blood. In our planning of things, we're going to help out on September 14th for the SCAM program. We're going to supply a cold lunch. October 2nd for Oktoberfest, we'd like to do a chili bar in the senior center. One of our new people is the former director in what town? Hopkinton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Hopkinton. Oh, Holliston.
Holliston. And she said that was always a big thing with their group, and she's got a great chili recipe, so we'll offer that, and we'll have our tag sale up. It's something we really have to do inside, so if COVID makes us close down, well, that's it. So, but hopefully we'll know, a week in advance if that's the case, and plan accordingly. With the restrooms are a big draw, as Patrice was saying, for people to come in, and the knit table's always been a big draw, so hopefully people will find their way. We'll put posters and stuff out on the street reminding people where we are and what we're doing. October 29th, we're going to sponsor a Halloween party, and one of the new people is really into Halloween. We used to have a Halloween costume store, so she's got all kinds of decor. So we're going to make it a costume party. December 3rd, we want to do our holiday gingerbread house construction again. We started a little competition last year between the fire department and the police department, and they vowed to get even this year.
You make gingerbread
And she
houses?
donates everything, so December 3rd is that. And then everything else will be decided as we progress and see how things are developing with COVID. We're participating in the cans and bottle drive among the nonprofit organizations in town. Dick Skinner, one of our members, orchestrated this, and Senior Center got the first week. And Jim and I have put in 30 man-hours doing this year so far.
He's created a monster.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, on the hottest day of the year, last Thursday, we were in the barn with 6 members, counting bottles and cans that we had collected down there. People are really into this, and they're contributing to the collection area. And as we were collecting, they're saying how nice it is that groups are doing this. Library's doing it this past week, was finishing, and Boy Scouts are next week, and hopefully more groups will participate, and we'll rotate through it if it's worthwhile. We collected a little over 8,700 cans and bottles, and we returned them to Milford Redemption Center this past week. Made 3 trips in the pickup truck, tarp covering everything to hold it in place, and we collected $445. So it's worthwhile if you have the manpower.
Yeah.
And that's something that each group is going to have to determine for themselves. I don't know if the library will do it again, or we'll shorthand it with that stuff, but...
There's no easy money, but that was a pretty good haul.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You've got to have volunteers.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of work for $400.
Yes, it's a lot of work, and when you convert the man hours,
Yeah.
you could work at McDonald's and make more than what you're going to make there, and it's a dirty, messy, filthy job. A lot of people, and we spent a lot of hours at the dump too, just collecting them. And a lot of people came up to us and said how grateful they were that we were doing it, because they would get so aggravated when they go to throw their tin cans away and they see a case of Coca-Cola cans in there that somebody could be benefiting from. And here are the Boy Scouts across the street at the fire station collecting cans, and they can't go in there and get them. So people appreciate it, but you gotta have the manpower, and you don't want, it's kind of a self-managing thing. You don't want people losing time from their paid job to be doing this, when they're getting paid to be somewhere else. So that's where the kids come in handy and seniors come in handy.
Yeah, maybe reaching out to high school kids who have to do community service, they may be, when school starts, give them opportunity, because some of them have no clue what they're going to do. And if you offer this, they may jump in to help the organization, so.
Yeah, because it could be after school, or it could be even weekends.
Whenever they want.
Yeah.
I can reach out to Kathy over at the church and see if any of the CCD kids need community service hours too. Yep.
We have a lot of the kids from the church who come and volunteer at the food pantry.
Yeah,
They're doing,
a list of names of kids like that for the
Yep.
groups to call upon would be probably helpful. So we'll see how it goes after these initial weeks and the initial groups take their turns, and who's going to stick with it and who isn't. So Dick did a lot of work getting that going. And then Sunshine Club is looking to, we can't do any evening events with food preparation and stuff, so we'll look at some afternoon entertainment activities perhaps, and maybe even some day trips. We'll be meeting again next Tuesday.
Thank you.
thanks, Pam.
Any other business that anyone would like to bring up at the meeting?
I wanted to ask the chief, are they going to come around and change the batteries and the smoke detectors and that this year?
Yep, they should. They'll probably be masked to do it, but
Yeah.
we've
'cause
got
I
plenty of
need it.
batteries.
I need it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Joe, and usually we get a list going, and they go out and about and do that. Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's a good program, because we don't want anybody getting on a ladder to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when they're there, they can check. I had somebody who I wasn't sure if they had smoke detectors in their house, if they were safe or not. Fire department went right over, put in the smoke and carbon monoxide detectors,
Yeah.
and so it's a really good program.
They put in the combination ones, which was good for me.
Yes.
'cause
Yep.
I didn't have them.
Yep,
Right.
Yeah.
yep.
Is there a way to detect if they're still good?
Yeah, you press the button.
I mean, you can do the test button, but don't they have like a lifespan and then?
Yeah, they do. So you gotta pull them down, and on the back, you'll see a manufacturer date.
Yeah,
If it's carbon monoxide, 5 to 7 years, eventually they will alarm out and they will haunt you because it's the end of life.
Chip away, right. Oh,
Yeah,
But
I had mine
It's
go
better
off.
to be ahead of the game rather than,
Yeah,
Sometimes that little
Mine went
chirp
off.
doesn't mean battery.
I had to go
It
outside
means replace.
Oh, yeah, they drive you crazy.
because I
There's
couldn't
no
shut
way
it
to
off.
test it.
Yeah.
Just have to look.
no way to test them. You gotta actually pull them down and look at them.
No, not when they're that way.
So, but you can always get them from the fire station, the fire department, so sign up on the list.
Yeah.
Or you just forget the pan on the stove and let it smoke and see if it goes off.
Without,
It's a daily event in my house.
I can cook some bacon and eggs, and I'll let you know if they go on. Do we have the booster shots that they're recommending for COVID? Are we on our own to get those, or?
So I didn't put that on here, on the agenda, because I'm not really 100% sure. All I can tell you is, from what I know now, we don't actually have the booster shots. So September 20th, we're supposed to be getting the booster shots for immune-compromised people. So we've been getting a lot of calls at the center. So immune-compromised means that you have had a transplant of some kind, that you have some kind of form of cancer, or you have a really severe illness that you need that boost. So they're going to do all of those first, along with fire, police, EMS personnel, nursing home people. So it's going to be the same way it was the first time. From what I'm understanding, it's going to be all the EMS, the nursing homes, the CNAs, the doctors, nurses, all of that first, and the immune compromised. Then it's going to go on to seniors. Most of our people were vaccinated pretty much between February and May. That being said, we're probably going to be pretty good till October or November before we need the booster shots. So I know that our pharmacist is working on it. I think we're going to be able to have a clinic. Just depends on the supply and demand of who has what. We have some people that got J&J, some people that got Moderna, some people that got Pfizer. The Pfizer one, they can't transport from the pharmacy because it has to be kept under very cold temperatures, so those people will probably have to go to a
And the
pharmacy.
J&J, they're not recommending a booster yet.
Right.
So if you got the one-shot wonder, you're
Right.
still in limbo.
Right. So, that being said, I think there's a lot of things that are going to come out in the next maybe month or so, and we have everybody on a list that we had gotten vaccines for, and which one they had and where they got it at, so now, and when they got it. So it'll be easy enough if they call for us to be able to just say, yep, we can put you in here or there. I would say, we're not sure if there's going to be mass places like they did in Uxbridge, because it's going to be supply and demand as to who wants them. Some people don't even want to get a vaccine, so some people aren't going to get a booster. Other people are going to want the booster, probably the seniors going into the winter. So that's all I can tell you now is,
And from what I know, basically, if you're immune compromised, your kidney transplant, organ transplant, you can actually get your booster now.
Yes.
Okay? So that's not an issue. The issue is exactly when we're going to get the actual booster for seniors and those folks. You have to, right now, the federal government is saying it has to at least be 8 months since you got your initial vaccine. Okay, so that's important to understand. And second of all, they're talking about the end of September, but the FDA, CDC, there's a little bit of back and forth going on right now. Nursing homes, EMS, all of us, we had CVS come and they did it. They're not planning on doing that same thing this year. This year, we're all going to be on our own, so it's going to be a little different. So time-wise, I really, just from what I'm hearing, because I talk to DPH every week, I don't think that the booster shot, at least for senior citizens, EMS, nursing home folks, hospital, will be available probably until like the first week of October, to be honest.
Do you expect the booster shot is going to be the same strength for everybody? Or is it going to be like, did we have a senior?
Yeah, you're talking about the dosage?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the booster shot supposedly has to be the same, if you got the Pfizer as the initial vaccine, the booster should be Pfizer. Moderna as the initial vaccine, Moderna should be the booster shot. In terms of that dosage, I don't think we really know. So, and there is still, just so you know, there is still a lot of controversy about whether or not we really need the booster. So,
When the girl came in from the pharmacy a couple of weeks ago and talked to us, the only problem I had, and it was my own fault, the communication between the pharmacy and the doctors, it's lacking somewhere. Because a while back, they gave out for the seniors, was it shingles shot? So we got the regular shingles shot, and then you got a booster for the, we got that at the senior center. And of course, I can't remember if I had breakfast, and a couple of weeks later, I go to my doctor, and he said, oh, we're going to give you the senior shingles shot. I said, oh, great. So now I've had plenty of them.
so they didn't give you a card, they didn't give you a card from the pharmacy?
No.
So I think maybe we should do that. We should work, just like Nurse Ann has the blood pressure cards, we can make up a card that you can have a card that you can carry that says what they gave you.
and one thing, just to
Because
add
the
to that,
doctors should know that.
if you're on Medicare, if you are on Medicare or have a Medicare type plan, I can actually go in and look up your Medicare number, and it tells me if you had your COVID shot when you had it and what you had.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the first time they've ever done that with vaccines.
Right.
And they are, when you get your booster, they are adding it to your initial, you have to bring your initial card with you. So the
Right.
card that you got for the COVID vaccine the first
the
two
COVID,
times,
yes.
Yeah.
they will
Yeah.
require you to bring that and sign it, because I
So-
actually had mine last Thursday because of my transplant.
Just you might think in this day of technology, with all the computers we have,
Yeah.
and you can go to My Chart on your computer and see what you have, and yet the doctor turns on his computer when you go sit in his office, and he doesn't see, oh, you got the booster at the senior center.
Right. So what we'll do is I'll have, we'll make up some cards that say shingles, pneumonia, which type of flu vaccine you got that you can take to your doctor, and they can at least put it in your chart. Because, yeah, everything is not linked. That happens a lot with prescriptions, too, from doctor to doctor or pharmacy to pharmacy. So you
But
got
the
to,
problem is the pharmacy notifying either the insurance companies or the doctors that they have given these shots.
oh, they do, because they charge you.
otherwise you're still
Right.
putting the responsibility on us.
Right.
To remember to bring the card.
Right.
Or
Yep.
whenever we got it.
Any vaccine that you get is, we fill out the papers, right? So your Medicare or Medicaid or whatever, or your, whatever your insurance is, goes into that pharmacy system. It's whether or not your doctor's office maybe is looking up what you've had through your insurance, which should just automatically go into your chart. But I see what you're saying, it's not a full circle program.
Yeah.
Yep.
When did we do shingles vaccine?
2 years ago. Anybody, what she does
was
is,
I?
so anybody who needs a specific vaccine when they come for the flu clinic. So if you said, oh, I'm due for shingles this year, I need my second pneumonia, or I need whatever, I need the senior flu shot, 'cause my doctor recommended that. She has all of those vaccines with her, and
Yeah.
you're free to be able to get them. The
Now-
only thing she does is put one in each arm, so if you have a reaction, you'll know. So she won't do more than 2 vaccines.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
My doctor would not give me because I had the other one maybe 10 or 12 years ago, the original one, and he wanted me to get the new ones. He said, but I can't give it to you because I won't get reimbursed from the insurance company. So he said, just go to your pharmacy where you get your meds. So I went to CVS, and this was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I went to the pharmacy, and I spoke to the girl that I know there, and she said to me, oh, that's fine, Janet, but the waiting list is 2.5 years long.
Yep.
I'm like, what? So then I never followed through with it.
Right.
Until I heard her at the senior center, and then I said I would definitely get them.
Yep.
You know, because I don't want to end up with that. But yeah, that's what my doctor told my primary care. He said, I will not get reimbursed for it. You have to go someplace.
Well, then you know what? They shouldn't be keeping them at their offices. If they can't give
I
them,
don't
give them to
get
the
it.
pharmacy and let them take down the list.
Keep them at their office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I did talk to the doctor, and he says, yeah, we can't keep them here, you gotta go to the pharmacy.
Oh, okay, okay. So,
It's
Another
crazy.
question?
It's crazy.
On a different topic. When you were talking about grants and funding, you were talking about finding an area, an outside area for us. Can you tell me more about that? What you got planned, or is this going to be something, a piece of town property primarily for the seniors and?
so if I'm able to write the grant, I was thinking a pavilion. So a cement pavilion with, you know, a covered structure for an outdoor space that would be utilized by anybody, just like any of the town offices would. You'd have to fill out maybe a request form, so we're all not there at the same time. Primarily, it would be during our open hours. Kids are in school then, and Boy Scouts are usually nighttime programs, and so are Girl Scouts and whatever, and if they do farmers markets or anything, it's on weekends. So it wouldn't interfere with us having it segregated for us during the week if we could, but it would just be filling out a schedule. And that's if we can find a piece of property to be able to put it on. So I did talk to the town administrator about it, and I have talked to our facilities maintenance in the highway department, so we're looking into all of that. Like I said, there'll be a lot of work to write the grant, would be logistically, where is the best place to put it, how much is it going to cost, who's going to maintain it after the fact, so.
Lot of unknowns.
Some place particular in mind that you're hoping we might?
As close to the senior center as I could get it would
You
be
can put it in my
my
backyard
goal.
if you want.
But,
You can use it anytime you want, right?
as close to the senior center as I could get it, or somewhere downtown, because it would be able to be utilized for many purposes. But right now, no, I do not have an exact location, and it will not be erected in time for Oktoberfest this year.
Yeah.
But I'm sure for next year, if I can get all this done. And, you know, just a matter of if we get the funding.
And just for a point of information, Town of Webster put up a pavilion over at the beach, and it was constructed, I believe, by Baypath.
Yep.
Yeah, they do some great things.
I just want to mention, too, that if you didn't see the front page of the newspaper, we had a pancake breakfast with Selectman Chair Kevin Morris and our fire chief here, Vincent, and it was very successful. Everybody loved it.
I wasn't there.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, you were not.
I
Oh,
wasn't
my God.
invited to that one.
No,
You skipped
no,
that, huh?
Dave, I'm sorry, Dave Cortez. I always associate the pancakes with the chief. And his lovely wife, yeah, he's like, it wasn't there. We were supposed to do something, we just didn't get to coordinate it, right.
We can now, right?
But we can now, yeah, more pancakes. So anyway, it was a great success, everybody had a good time, and they put it right in the paper for us, so it was a nice way to be able to say, we're open, and this is what we're doing, so. And so it was very nice. So thank you for Christine for reminding me of that. It seems like it was so long ago, but it really, we missed a meeting, so. Perfect.
So any other business? All right, so let's look at our calendars and see when we can meet next.
Patrice, did you give a date for the flu clinic?
Yeah, October 1st.
Okay.
We'll be putting all those flyers out.
Remember
We
that.
just changed over the bulletin board. Jennifer was doing it yesterday, so now we have September and October up. August is gone. I am out the week of September 28th.
Why, you have a wedding or something?
Yeah, you do have
Yes,
a
I
wedding,
yes, I
don't you?
do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Oh, no, I'm not out the week of the 28th. I'm out the week before. I'm out the 27th, recovering from the wedding on the 25th. So if you wanted to do that, or if you want to skip through to October 5th, we couldn't do because that is Smile Day. So if we want to meet after Smile Day, or you want to do a meeting in September, we can do that.
I can't do the week of the 13th in September, so, and then the week before that's Labor Day, so do you want to just push it out to October 12th?
Perfect.
Okay with everybody, unless you want to do it sooner?
Indigenous people say.
Don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't get celebrated on Monday, so if we're here Tuesday.
We're okay?
we'll be all set.
Right, because that would be,
October 12th?
yeah, the Columbus Day is the 11th, yeah. Or Indigenous People Day, as
Will
you
we
said.
be meeting here?
Is that the day of the marathon?
Oh, the marathon, yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I think it is. Yeah.
The 11th?
Yep.
Yes, it is, yes.
Yeah,
I read
because they were having it on
that effect,
Indigenous
yeah.
People Day, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll do the meeting here.
Okay.
All right.
How do you do the flu shots? Do we just show up?
So we'll be putting out
Or do we
time.
do it by appointment?
Yeah, we'll be doing it by appointment. We usually put out a paper and we just have an appointment time. Last year, we had to because we only could let one person in at a time. This year, people can just linger around and wait for their shot, no problem. We hope.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Every week
more
is a different one.
than The flu shot, it'll be,
Other vaccines if you need them.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you can get your flu shot and COVID booster at the same time now. The old thought was you had to wait 2 weeks, but not anymore.
We can get shingle ones, Lou?
So can you get the shingles shot on the same day, Patrick, as
yeah,
you
you're
would
60.
get your flu shot?
I don't know about that, it depends, you know,
thought you
you
had to
talk to
be
your
50
doctor.
for it.
Okay.
You got to
The
be
shingle?
50.
The shingles? Oh, he's 60.
I know,
You're 60 years
I'm
old?
Not,
Oh, I've never had one either.
I thought it was 50.
I mean, I'm just a whisper over
Can't say
50.
these things.
I thought it was 55.
I'm 55, I'm sorry.
I thought it was 55. What is the shingle shot? Is it 50?
50, yeah, I
Oh.
got hit with that already.
Yeah, so
Okay, okay.
We'll have to-
We'll have to
That's a
do that.
killer
I'll
shot,
put you on our list.
That hurts.
add Ken to
Oh.
it, because we can't leave him out.
Yeah,
You guys go on the same day.
I want to get shingles.
yeah. No, no.
Oh, man,
No,
that's,
I had a mild case years ago.
I did too after I got my COVID shot.
Yeah.
I
get
had
that
a
on
mild
the
case
trunk
of
of your
shingles.
body. and-
Painful.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we need to adjourn this meeting, so could someone make a motion to adjourn? Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming today.
thank you.